Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing?
What the fuck? That's exactly what I just said, word for word. Hi, whatever. How's it going? Hi, Shane. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, you know.
This guy at my work, I'll be like, hey, how's it what is it? Like, what's up?
Hey.
And he'll be like, pretty good.
That's a way to answer that. I just do that Midwestern thing where, like, I always have to, like, ask them a question whenever they ask me a question, so it just becomes this infinite loop of questions being asked. It's like, how's it going? Oh, you're doing good? Oh, how's your week been? Oh, how's your summer been? How's your year been? And then it's a forever loop that we're forever in.
I'm always the initiator. If someone looks at me, I'm always just like, sup?
Oh, I'll do that, like, I'll do the head nod thing. I'll be like, hey, what's up? But, like, the problem is, I walk my dog every day, and like I said, from the Midwest, but I wear, like, my really bulky headphones. Like, they're bulkier than the headphones I'm currently wearing. They're, like, soundproof, and I wear them every time I walk my dog, and my neighbors still try to talk to me every single day. And then I have to, like, clumsily pull off my headphones, turn down my music that's blaring, and then I have to have a conversation, put them on, walk like another 100 feet, and someone else tries to talk to me.
Those are good neighbors.
They
Keep
are.
Those neighbors.
They're all delightful. I love all of them. But, my God. It's just like, if I have my headphones on, don't talk to me. It's the coffee meme. If I haven't had my coffee, don't talk to me. If I have my headphones on and rocking out, don't talk to me.
That's a good point. This is all fair.
Yeah, they're determined to tell you good morning. Yeah, it's built into our brains here that if we see someone, we have to tell them that they better have a good morning.
You're gonna have a good morning whether you like it or not.
Exactly, it's a Midwest way. God damn it, it's hot in my room.
Me too, smile and wave, huh?
Yeah. Every single time we start the podcast, I'm like a good temperature, and then I start talking, and then I get really hot. So let me turn my fan on.
Same. Yep, same.
It's because we have all these hot takes.
Yeah, the hottest, the beefiest, the spiciest. Have you taken advantage of the old Prime Day? Oh, okay, yes.
I was turning my fan on. What?
Oh! I didn't realize that meant you walking away. I guess that question goes to everybody. Anybody get anything cool for Prime Day? I got a new mouse and keyboard, and I'm gonna order a mixer, I think.
I have not.
But there's something that I didn't realize, so I'll let you know in the specialist way I can.
Yeah. You're gonna sing a song?
No.
There
we go. Yes, I'm sure. Jeez. There we go.
It's really loud. Just
clickety clackety.
Just reduce your gain.
I don't have the mixer yet.
You can still do that on your mic and in OBS.
Well, clickety clackety.
Clickety clackety. I mean, I have 3 keyboards. I understand. I like the clickety clackety too. It's fine. I have, so right now my streaming keyboard, which is weird to say I have a streaming keyboard, and my general use keyboard is really quiet. Like, I can type away and you usually can't hear it. But I have my other keyboard that I don't use when streaming or doing anything with my mic that is, like, purposely the loudest keys you can have, because I like typing away and hearing the clickety clackety.
Clickety clackety. It's pretty okay.
It makes me feel self-important.
I'm not gonna get rid of my other keyboard. If enough people complain about this, we'll switch. But
you can easily do some settings in OBS and make it so it's not awful.
But yeah,
but there will be that. Yo, go ahead.
About to get this audio mixer. Very excited.
Nice, yeah. But I was gonna say there will be that asshole who'll come in and he'll just say, "What keyboard are you using?" I've had that a few times.
I'll just be like, "What keyboard are you using?"
Yeah, just what? Wow, welcome to Ruining Movies, where we don't talk about movies, we talk about keyboards. It's a keyboard podcast now. The clickety and the clackety, exactly. Here we are now. God, it's Tuesdays are just trailer release days. We have this nice list that I fill out throughout the weekend and throughout the week, and then Tuesday's like, hey, I bet you guys like movies an hour or two before you like record your movie podcast. Here's all these self-important trailers that everyone's gonna be talking about.
I'm always so busy on Tuesdays, like right up until stream.
Same. Usually Tuesdays, I'm like usually running around until like I was actually on time this day today. Like normally I'm like shoving food in my face at 5:55.
I was not on time because I had to hook up this new mouse and keyboard. I like came home from work at like 3:30. It was actually closer to 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I cooked myself dinner and took a shower. Had to hook up this mouse and keyboard. Next thing you know, it's fucking 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. It's time goes too quick. All right, let's actually start this podcast. Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 14. I actually went back and counted all the episodes.
Wow.
Something I never do with any of the podcasts I host is ever know what episode we're on. But we're on episode 14. That means our podcast is now in high school. That's how that works, right? 14. It's 14 middle school, whatever. Yes, but anyway, welcome to Ruining Movies, your live movie podcast in which your hosts, me, Zach, that's Shane.
Hi, I'm Shane.
That's Shane. It's a live podcast in which we talk about the movie news of the day, and then we talk about the movie of the week. This week we are talking about the 2014 What We Do in the Shadows, the comedy and mockumentary out of New Zealand. And then with the help of you, wonderful audience, and two straw polls actually in our Discord, we ruined that movie by rewriting it as either a remake, prequel, or sequel, and then we rewrite it in the genre of your choice. So, look forward to that. We have to rewrite What We Do in the Shadows, a movie that I absolutely adore. But before we get into that, let's talk about the movie and television news, and probably talk about Loki episode 2. So, let's start with Pig.
Oh, we're not going to talk about what we've been watching?
I mean, we can actually. Yeah, we do that, don't we?
We do.
We do that. Yeah. Shane, what have you been watching? Chat, what have you been watching? This is the thing we do that I forgot we do.
I've just been watching a lot of stuff this week, so I was thinking about it.
I mean, I have two actually. Yeah, go ahead.
So for starters, we'll get the serious one out of the way, kind of. I watched a movie called The Upside with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
And Nicole Kidman, I think.
Okay.
It was really, really good. Basically, Bryan Cranston is a quadriplegic, and Kevin Hart is his caretaker.
Oh, yeah. I saw a bunch of trailers when I was like coming out.
Yeah, it was kind of heartwarming and
nice.
Emotional and stuff. It was pretty good. That was like a long movie. Stands out in my mind. It was pretty good.
Was it a Netflix like original, or was it like a theater release?
I think it was a theater release. I had to get it on Amazon, I think.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing things about it. I mean, Bryan Cranston is always really good in those roles.
Outstanding.
I feel like Kevin Hart is always kind of hit or miss, but I feel like I've seen him act in some serious roles before.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect out of Kevin Hart in this role because it was kind of serious, but it was pretty good.
Nice.
Instant Hotel on Netflix, an Airbnb competition show. That sounds interesting.
That sounds super interesting. Actually, what the hell? I would watch that.
I've never heard of that. That sounds awesome. I also watched a movie that was oddly hilarious, but you might like it. It was called Big Legend. It's on Prime right now.
Big Legend.
Oh, free. It's basically a murder mystery starring a Sam Squanch.
Nice. I mean, I'm looking at the poster already.
It's pretty over the top, but I had fun. We had a little Father's Day movie thing. It was
nice.
It was pretty enjoyable. Also, this week, season 2 of the Netflix original Black Summer came out, and I've been watching that. And
I've been getting so many like ads on Netflix to watch that. Is it worth watching?
I really liked it. I have liked it so far. I think it's a clever way to make a show. Yeah. I think it's worth it. It's a good zombie show.
We're going to be talking about Netflix a lot this episode, which I think is good. Fine.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Netflix stuff going on.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah,
nice.
that's been enjoyable. If you've heard of Z Nation, technically it's a follow-up to Z Nation.
Yeah. Okay. Now I know. Okay. Now I have a reference to that.
You wouldn't really know.
Yeah. Isn't people say that Black Summer's much better than Z Nation? I think that's what I've heard.
Yeah. So Z Nation was like a sci-fi TV show.
Yeah.
Not like science fiction, but like the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, don't you dare disgrace the Sci-Fi Channel right now. But no, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not gonna like go off on the Sci-Fi Channel, but like you know what you get.
I know what you get. You get Sharknado.
Yeah, because like
and
honestly,
Tremors.
I really liked Z Nation.
5.
I watched like all 5 seasons of it just because it was so wacky and ridiculous and over the top.
Nice.
There was like actually a giant cheese wheel in Wisconsin that they smashed a bunch of zombies with and like sent it towards a huge town.
Okay, that makes me actually want to watch it. Hell yeah.
It's so over the top. Like I loved it. And there's like a lot of people in it that are kind of recognizable. It was very weird.
Nice.
And in that show, throughout the 5 seasons, they reference the Black Summer, and it's like the start of everything that they're dealing with now. Because throughout Z Nation, they're just like in the midst of the zombie apocalypse.
So it's like is it like oh god, Fear the Walking Dead or whatever, like the Walking Dead thing, the prequel
I didn't really watch that. All I knew about it was that it was a different group of people kind of dealing with the same shit. Because like the Walking Dead show and Fear the Walking Dead both started at the beginning of the apocalypse.
Okay, for sure.
So Z Nation starts well into the apocalypse. And zombies are everywhere and doing shit, and people are just doing their thing.
Okay.
Black Summer throughout that they're like, oh, do you remember the Black Summer? It was so terrible. Like it was the worst year of all or whatever. And so now all these years later or whatever, Netflix came out with a show called Black Summer, and it's like that's really the only connection. I've seen no characters from there.
So same world.
Yeah, basically the same universe, just in the beginning of things, I suppose. And it's
okay.
It feels a lot different. Like Z Nation was really wacky and weird and over the top, and this feels like really grounded and gritty, and it's pretty good.
Is it like same? Was Z Nation you said was sci-fi, and this is Black Summer's Netflix? Okay, but I'll have to check it out.
I've been enjoying it. I just watched like episode 4 of season 2, and it's been a ride.
Okay. Nice. I'm kind of like I've been just binging shows lately, so I might check this out.
For sure. Yeah, and first season was really good. I recommend it.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's it. Other than Loki that I've watched,
awesome.
and What We Do in the Shadows.
Nice. Whatever says I finished JoJo Part 4. That is a show that I've been recommended so many times that I just have not watched, but it honestly everything about it looks like it would be something that I would absolutely adore and love.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I have to watch JoJo and oh my gosh, Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. You need to watch Cowboy Bebop.
Like those are the 2 animes that have been recommended to me so many times by such a huge variety of people.
Yeah. I mean,
it seems like I gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like JoJo's brought up in our friend group like every week for the last like 4 years or 5 years. I don't know how long JoJo's been out. Awesome. Yeah. So, what have I been watching? I watched all of season 2 of Westworld.
Nice.
Good show.
Good things.
Yeah, really good show. I really like Westworld. I mean, I just love it. Give me any type of media that is like, but what if Robot was sad? And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm in. I'll watch it. I'll binge it.
Like Aaron Paul on that?
He's in the 3rd season, which I've only watched the first episode of, and it's turned from like a philosophical show in like season 1 and 2 to like and more action, no longer in the Westworld Park show in season 3. Kind of people call it kind of a reboot. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. It just it seems still good. I think someone made a comparison. It's like it's still better TV than most other TV, but it's just not like as good as season 1 and 2. I really liked the philosophical aspects and like all the mind games and stuff of season 1 and 2, but season 3 kind of loses it. So I don't know. I might watch it, but Aaron Paul is in it, and he kind of he like came out of nowhere. I was like, oh shit, he's in it now. Cool. What else I started rewatching for the 5th time What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show. Which,
nice.
Oh my god,
how long
it's so
is
good.
that? Because I feel like I kind of want to watch that too.
It's 2 seasons, and we'll get into it when we dissect the movie, but I think it's funnier than the movie, and that's not saying bad things on the movie. So I think the movie is the funniest movie of the last 20 years. I just think the TV show is funnier, and it's probably one of the funniest TV shows of the last 30 years. But I highly recommend it. It has, do you know who Matt Berry is? It's either Matt Perry or Matt Berry.
I know who Matt Perry is.
Matt Berry, he was in the IT Crowd. He's British. Matthew Berry. He's really funny. He's in it. Along with oh god. He's my favorite character in What We Do in the Shadows, but I can't think of his actor name. He was in The Office. He was the warehouse worker who was kind of always clueless. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Sorry, who?
He was in The Office. He was a warehouse worker. I think he was one of Dwight's friends. He's kind of always clueless, always just kind of saying.
Todd.
Is it? It might be Todd.
No, not Todd. His name's not Todd. Type of stars in chat. He'll know.
Yeah. But anyway,
it's the one that takes out the beehive.
Exactly. Yes. Anyway, he plays a energy vampire named Colin Robinson, and honestly, he might be my favorite character in any television show ever. He's so funny. I need to know who he was in The Office now.
Nate. His name was Nate.
Yes, he was Nate. Yes, that same actor is also in it. Honestly, so good. If you have Hulu, I definitely recommend it. Season 3 is coming out in September. What else did I think I finished Lucifer.
Nice.
And actually something kind of funny happened there. I was season 5 of Lucifer. I was like, okay, this is the last season. I only have 3 episodes left, and I'm gonna be really sad because I've binged the show in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I've really come to love it. And I watched the last episode, and there was a lot of things left open, and I was really big cliff, what's going on next? How are they ending it like this? And then I was really sad and really mad. I was like, how are they just leaving this and ending this series on this? And then I found out there's gonna be a season 6.
Nice. That was a huge roller coaster of emotions.
It was. I was like, no, this show's over forever. There's so many questions unanswered. And then I was Googling it. I was like, why was this so vague? And then everyone's like, oh, season 6 is coming out. I was like, oh, I'm dumb. That's what happened there. But yeah, good stuff. A lot of things to consume on streaming services. Oh, whatever said, I rewatched the Conjuring movies because of the new one.
Nice.
And got roasted by my friend for doing the same sleep routine as the family from the first film. Nice. Did you watch the new one? I saw that it was on HBO Max, whatever, and I kind of want to watch it. I like the Conjuring films. I haven't watched Annabelle or any of the side movies. But Conjuring 1 and 2 I liked.
The first one. I think I saw the second one. And that was it. So this is the third one, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I never watched Annabelle, for sure.
It's The Devil Made Me Do It. Which, I mean, it's cool. I like I said, I like them. I like the idea of how you can convince a court that you're innocent due to possession. Honestly, if I ever go to jail, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm just possessed, Your Honor. The devil made me do it. God damn it. All right. Well, gosh dang it. Gosh dang devil. All right. Let's talk about the movie news. Because I can't remember anything else I watched this last week. So yeah, let's start with a very strange trailer that has seemed to catch everyone by surprise, as most Nicolas Cage films do.
I'm fucking hyped.
I am too.
Oddly hyped.
Yeah, so for those who haven't seen the trailer called Pig, it is Nicolas Cage's new film. It seems to follow Nicolas Cage, who is a ex-chef and a truffle hunter, someone has stolen his pig, and it kind of gives me like Taken but with a pig vibe, but it also seems a lot more artistic than that, and it seems like there's a lot more stuff going on. I really couldn't get a good read on this movie, which I actually quite enjoy that aspect of it.
I'm thinking Nicolas Cage is gonna kill like one dude after a series of just beautiful things that happen.
I kind of hope it's that way. I hope it doesn't just become like Taken with pigs.
I thought like Taken, or he was just gonna like straight up John Wick, like they took my bag and just murder everyone. But you're right. Like it does look a little more like stylish than that.
It seems like more of a slow burn, and I mean I think Nicolas Cage in these indie films where he really gets to let loose with his acting, which we've seen in this trailer. I think it's gonna be good. I hope it's gonna be good. Nicolas Cage movies, I'll still watch it, and they're always kind of like good or bad.
Yeah, I still enjoy them.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I mean Mandy was fantastic, and he sorry, I'm reading this quote right now. I can't read and speak, I guess. He was great in Mandy and The Color Out of Space, both films that he kind of was allowed to like go off with his acting style. I'm reading this trivia now that said Nicolas Cage decided to produce this film as he thinks it shares similar elements with two of his recently critically acclaimed films, Joe and Mandy. If this is gonna be like Mandy, it's gonna be a fucking trip. I don't know if it's gonna be a slow burn. Then I don't know the director. I was looking at their IMDb, and I am not familiar with anything. Which I mean, I like that. I think Nicolas Cage picks cool people to work with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I think it'll be cool. I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Because it looks really intriguing just based on the trailer. So and I like Nicolas Cage.
Exactly. Like I really like modern day Nicolas Cage, and I mean I like just Nicolas Cage in general. I know he has some movies that aren't that great, but like if you make that many movies,
So do a lot of people.
Yeah. And he always comes back and does interesting things. Face Off I still absolutely love more than anything else. They made that movie. Oh my god, it's so good. I mean, and then Color Out of Space, Mandy is so good. Like I absolutely love Mandy. He goes from like making Mandy, then he's in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, he's just done a bunch of cool things.
Releasing Arizona, Vampire's Kiss, which is a nightmare. He plays like he's so crazy in it. The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, The Rock, Gone in 60 Seconds, that remake.
Con Air is like a movie that I've enjoyed my whole life. I also very much like John Cusack, who's also been in a bunch of stinkers and a bunch of really interesting shit.
Exactly.
Those two have had like similar career paths.
And then Nicolas Cage goes from all those psychotic roles and busts out a National Treasure or two.
Just on the side.
And A Sorcerer's Apprentice. And then he makes Drive Angry like the same year. Then he makes a Disney film.
And G-Force somewhere in there. Astro Boy.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass. These are like insane roles.
Those are like defining movies. Like any other actor would take those roles, and like those would be like their defining movies. For that, it's just a Saturday for Nicolas Cage. Ghost Rider. We didn't even talk about Ghost Rider. Sort of the Marvel universe, kind of.
Oh man, The Family Man is a really cool Christmas movie.
Yeah, he
The Rock.
He made an appearance in the Werewolf Women of the SS, the short, and like Grindhouse, all those little like short trailer segments. Like he just was in one of them. I never saw Joe though.
You know those memes of John Travolta from Pulp Fiction where he just like shows up places and looks around?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like what I pictured, but with Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Showing up on set, looking around a little bit, walking off set, grabbing a check, and getting the hell out of there.
That's
2012 best movie. Oh, that's a John Cusack classic right there.
Yeah. Oh, God, I forgot he was in that. Yeah, you're right. It's we kind of talked about this in a little bit more serious manner last week, where you gotta sometimes just take the money so you can make the things that you won't make money off of, and that's just like Nicolas Cage. He'll do 3 National Treasures, and then he'll bust out a Mandy.
Right.
He'll do the Croods or Cruds. I never saw. That's a weird, like, caveman animated show, I think. And then he'll bust out a pig. And then he'll build a weird obsidian pyramid in Vegas. I think that's where that is, and where he will go and die. That is a real thing.
You know what he would have been great in? Army of the Dead.
If it was with a different director, I would agree. But yeah, I mean,
think about it, he would have made a lot of money off of it, and then his next movie would have been unbelievable.
Oh, actually, you're right. Yeah, like, surprised we didn't get, like, Nicolas Cage or, like, one of those, like, actors who just takes every role, like Kevin Bacon, like, in Army of the Dead. And just to, like, you're right, fuck off and make something actually good.
A little pile of money real quick so my next one can be amazing.
Exactly.
But seriously, I'm excited for Nicolas Cage and this movie, and he's gonna do cool things.
Yeah, I mean, the movie trailer came out of everywhere. You sent it to me like an hour after I watched it, and I was just like, okay, this movie's getting around. Like,
yeah, it popped up on my YouTube like instantly.
Yeah.
That day.
I guess it was filmed like in 2020 or something, so it's probably been waiting for the pandemic to be over.
Nice.
I mean, okay, and then Entertainment Weekly is calling it Nicolas Cage's John Wick, but with a pig. I mean, I'm cool with that, too. I mean, fuck it. I don't care what you give me at this point.
I mean, yeah. He does look ready to pop off in this trailer.
He really does.
The trailer made me think of a tea kettle.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like Nobody, that film that came out, which we're getting a sequel soon, which has the Better Call Saul guy in it.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, thank you. Like, that was kind of also, that was just John Wick, but like for the suburbs. So now we're getting John Wick possibly, but with the pig.
Where's my pig?
Where's my pig? yeah, I think I'm back.
See, I just see him like coming out of his chef retirement and just like stabbing someone in the very end. Give me my pig.
Watch like the whole chef thing be a bit, and he's actually special ops or some bullshit. Yeah, I was a chef. Green Beret chef, 1st Infantry. Anyone who's in the military, I just said a bunch of words there, don't yell at me.
Oh, man.
Alright, that's so pig. Let's move on. To, you know what pigs like? Scraps. And you know what was scraps or scrapped? The Lego Batman sequel.
This is how we're gonna do segues now.
Yes, we are. Hell yeah, we are. So I enjoyed Lego Batman. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I heard they were doing a sequel for like ages though.
Yeah, but now
I feel like I heard that forever ago.
They're like, no, get out of here.
They just kicked them out, and they're like, fuck this movie.
Well, I think
bad idea, Will Arnett.
Which is so stupid because, like, I feel like Lego Batman did really good. All the Lego movies, like, are kind of like, first of all, good movies. Like they've like
in an AMC theater. I mean,
yeah, but anyway, yeah, it's kind of crazy that they didn't go forward with like Lego Batman because it was kind of DC's Spider-Verse in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it did bring in a shitload of people.
It did. It brought in a bunch of people. It had a bunch of famous voice actors. It was actually a pretty good movie. But yeah, so anyway, what we found out this week is director Chris McKay reveals exclusive details about the Lego Batman Movie 2 we'll never see, including the villains, plot, and more. And the movie actually, like, the plot sounds pretty interesting, but I can also see why the studio didn't want it. It sounded like they wanted to, okay, so this is actually a quote. I'll just read the quote. Dan Harmon and Michael Waldron had done a first draft of the script. I mean, you have Dan Harmon writing this too. First draft of the script that was really great. It was truly epic, both from an action standpoint and from a story standpoint. The structure was Godfather Part 2, a story about Batman's relationship to the Justice League and Superman, now as well as the formative moments of the Justice League and Batman's relationships with Superman then. So it seemed to be like, they also said it was like Boogie Nights-esque, which is such a weird comparison.
I have to confess.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this fucking movie.
You haven't seen Lego Batman?
No, I saw the Lego movie.
Oh, you should see Lego Batman. I think you would enjoy it.
I'm sure I would. I love the Lego games and stuff. I want to watch it right now. Can we watch it right now?
Yeah, let's stop the podcast, everyone. We're gonna go watch Lego Batman. We'll be back in 2 hours. I think honestly, I think you'd like it. It was fun. It had like a lot of great people attached to it. It had Will Arnett as Batman.
Yeah, and I was like reading this article and I was like, what the fuck? This wasn't a great Batman movie. What are you talking about? This was a movie about a Lego guy that was a construction worker.
No, this was a different. This was actually the Lego Batman movie. But yeah, I just feel like an idiot. Yeah, you know, you're good. I know it's a strange choice not to go through with it. Is all I'm kind of saying right now, especially because DC really only has going for it is like it really only has its animated movies going for it. Kind of at this point.
I love their animated
like that's
content.
Yeah, their animated content is always better than Marvel's, and it always has been. I think that is something that is not even a controversial take. Like, I'm not saying Marvel stuff isn't good, but like, Batman the Brave and the Bold, the Batman animated show from the 90s.
Justice League of Doom.
Yeah, exactly. All their movies, Apocalypse World, Justice League Dark.
Yeah, Justice League of Doom. The one
Justice League of Doom with Doom Patrol.
Yeah, and there's the one where was it Justice? Oh my gosh, can't think of it. But it's the one where Batman kills everybody.
Oh, it's the one that I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like
Flashpoint Paradox was so good.
Yeah, it really was. Batman Beyond. Yeah, Batman Beyond, the like show was good, but the Batman Beyond movie was great. Static Shock. The Harley Quinn show is recent and it's so good.
So beautiful.
I loved Static Shock as a kid. Like that was such a good like animated show. Like so it's kind of crazy like that DC. I mean DC still is making animated films. I think their next one is one where Flash goes back to like World War II.
I saw that.
And I mean I'm gonna watch it probably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Justice League Gods and Monsters. Yeah, like they're all good. They're all good. So it's kind of weird. Warner Brothers doesn't seem to know what they want to do with the DC property.
I agree. I feel like they're just like, yeah, we'll do whatever. Just push something. Just push anything.
Exactly.
Do you see that the Titans show is on a new network?
It's on HBO Max, isn't it? Because the DC.
Yeah, but I just saw a commercial for it the other day. It's going to be on a new.
Is it on CW now? See, I've heard the Titans show is pretty good. Like Doom Patrol is really good. Like I really like the Doom Patrol TV show, both seasons. Excuse me. The Constantine show that they canceled early after one season was fantastic. The Swamp Thing show was really good, and then they canceled it. It's like I heard Titans is actually a pretty good show. And talking about Titans, Teen Titans on the Cartoon Network was an awesome cartoon.
True. Very true. I mean, this is on HBO Max, but I just saw a commercial for it the other day that it was on some other show or on some other network. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, and then you look at Marvel and like their animated stuff is I enjoy it, but it is way more like totally geared towards a specific like age group.
It feels very generalized. I guess like Yeah, exactly how you put it. It's like for younger. It's like for kids and like younger teens, which were DC.
And DC hits all the bases.
Like they will go dark with their stuff on it, and like people like that stuff with DC. DC, I've always thought of as the darker of the two comic brands.
Yeah, and even their more child-friendly things, like Justice League,
the show.
Yeah, like even that is like still a good quality show. It's very entertaining and like well done. And it's not to say that, like you said earlier, not to like put down Marvel. Like I've watched a lot of Marvel animated stuff, and it's fine. It's just very like kid friendly, I guess.
Exactly.
A good way to put it. And some of the DC stuff that I find myself watching is very much not that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's cool because I'm not a kid.
Exactly, and I like looking at the 90s animated show is from DC, and I mean Batman the animated series, which first of all is probably the most beautiful looking animated superhero show. It is so good looking. You have Batman Beyond, you have the Justice League. This is just called Justice League. It's weird that you can think like 10 years earlier in like the 80s and 70s they had the what was it, Super Twins? So I can't remember their names. The Wonder Twins, I think.
The Wonder Twins.
Before my time.
I see. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try to get this train back on. The Wonder Twins. Yes, okay, I was right. So so anyway, I think this whole thing we were trying to say, and I'm trying to say, is DC, just you have something good going for you. Just go with it. This would have probably been another hit. I mean, Dan Harmon, like, if you don't like Rick and Morty and stuff, that's fine. But like, he's also like really good at writing animated things, and I mean, Community. Like, he's good at that stuff. Will Arnett is always someone you want attached to your things.
Yeah, I like him so much. I hear people flame him, and I'm like, dude, come on. Like, he is super funny. I don't understand.
I love Will Arnett. Will Arnett actually hosts like the Lego show. Yeah,
he's just, I don't know. I like him. I don't know if he's like a cool dude in real life or whatever, but I like him. I think he's a funny guy. I've enjoyed most everything he's made.
Exactly. Yeah, the Wonder Twins with their weird ass rigs. Yes, exactly. That, you know what I'm talking about. All right, we don't really have anything. I guess staying with DC. I was gonna say I was gonna jump to the next thing on our list, but if we do that, it just doesn't make sense. So we're gonna stay in the DC realm right now, and we're gonna talk about the Suicide Squad secret trailer that dropped 2 hours before this podcast. Do you have time to watch it?
Do I have time? I'm recording a podcast.
Well, did you have time to watch it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, but I can. I'll watch it right now.
Yeah, watch it right now, and I'll speak about it. And I'll post it in chat for anyone.
2 minutes.
It's a trailer.
How many secrets? Do I need the noise?
Okay, I mean, the noise is pretty great, but you don't have to. It was secret trailer because they leaked it. They quote unquote leaked it. It said, like, when they put it out, it was like Suicide Squad, do not release, and like it was like obviously a marketing thing. But it came out today out of nowhere, and it's the third trailer for the movie. 2 minutes? Yeah, I know. But anyway, I think kind of talking about the same thing we were just talking about with Lego Batman. This movie looks pretty great. It looks like they're giving James Gunn a lot of how do I want to word this? Giving James Gunn like a lot of not studio control. Why can't I think of what it's called? Creative control. Thank you. They're letting James Gunn kind of do like a lot of wacky stuff with it. I'm very surprised that Marvel let them say James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy, on a DC trailer.
Oh yeah,
especially like an R-rated DC trailer.
Right.
Creative license. Yeah, that also would have worked there. But anyway, it looks hilarious. I don't really have much. Yeah, there's so many people in it. Just so many people in it.
I don't think that's Pete Wentz.
I wouldn't be surprised. Isn't Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy?
Yeah, but Pete Davidson does kind of look like him.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if Pete Wentz was also in a Suicide Squad. They literally have everybody in it.
Man, okay, watching this with noise would have been way better.
Yeah, you should watch it after the podcast with noise. It's really funny. There's a part where they're freaking out about the weasel, and the main dude's like, oh, he's a weasel, and everyone's like, he's a werewolf, and God, I should not be telling this joke, not because it's a bad joke, it's because I'm telling it really bad. And he's like, no, he's only killed 27 children. And, like, that is a joke I just caught me off guard, but it's so funny. Like, is this DC letting directors do what they want to do now?
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really excited about the new Batman, too.
Me too. Me too.
Who is Batman? Daniel Radcliffe or Robert Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, it's not just because I like Robert Pattinson.
I mean, it's mostly because I like Robert Pattinson. But
I
yeah.
do really, really like Robert Pattinson a lot. But, like, also, That was Colin
Farrell in it, which is sweet. Matt Reeves is directing.
Yeah, I just kind of like the idea of people doing their own shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of why I like the Joker movie, because it was just like the standalone thing, kind of removed from most of the other stuff.
Yeah,
it wasn't trying to build a universe or anything. It
was darker. It was allowed. They allowed the Joker to be its own thing. Exactly what you're saying. It's the thing that DC needs to be doing.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of like that's kind of why I'm excited about Batman, because it's not Batfleck, it's not Christian Bale, it's not anything like that. It's just this random new Batman with this random new cast and new stuff. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I think it'll be kind of good.
You also have Paul Dano as the Riddler, which I'm so excited for.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Paul Dano's so great as a villain.
And there's also, from what I heard, there's going to be a Flash movie with Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah, so there has been like a bunch of DC news these last 2 weeks that I haven't really put in the show notes, just because like they've only been giving us vague things. So like 2 days ago we got the new Shazam kind of like costumes. Like I really liked Shazam. I thought that was a really fun DC movie. I mean, I also really like Captain Marvel, Shazam. I hate that they both have Captain Marvels. But they got new suits, and like I'm actually excited for that. We have the Black Adam movie coming out soon, and we're getting more and more stuff about that. We just found out yesterday that the Dr. Fate costume is going to be all CGI'd, which I don't like that much, but like
I don't know what to make of that.
Dr. Fate is one of my favorite comic book characters, so maybe they're doing like something super ornate with it. But we have that going on. The Rock's starring in it, so it's gonna be something. I hope it's good. I like
he's the Rock.
Yeah, he's the Rock. I like Black Adam. Like, and they're doing like the Justice League of America with that too, which seems really cool. Like bringing back all those, and like Pierce Bronson is playing Dr. Fate, which is a good.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I think that's like really good casting.
Yeah. But so wasn't the first Shazam kind of like tied into the Snyderverse a little bit?
I mean, Superman kind of makes an appearance.
Yeah. So like,
but like very vaguely, yeah.
Batfleck.
I mean,
hashtag back Batfleck.
I liked Ben Affleck as Batman.
I did too.
Bring
back Batfleck.
I mean, I generally like Ben Affleck as an actor and a director.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of people throw shade at a lot.
Yeah. How do you like them apples, chap?
Deal with that. You don't like Ben Affleck? What is a Ben Affleck kind of podcast?
This is the fucking Bastin podcast now. But yeah, so Flash, we also got like a Supergirl costume for the Flashpoint movie, which I didn't know Supergirl was gonna be in it. That's cool. Yeah, we have whoever you just said as Batman in that, as the evil Thomas Wayne. Not evil Thomas Wayne, but if you've seen Flashpoint, like I think that's who he's playing in The Flash.
Who did I just say?
You said, oh god.
Weren't you listening to me?
I was, but I'm so bad with names.
I can't even remember because I'm bad with memories.
Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Michael
so maybe
Keaton.
I was wrong. Michael Keaton's
Was he
not.
the nippled Batman?
He was.
Oh, so we're gonna get Batman with nipples again.
Yeah, so I'm misremembering. Because yeah, we have Michael Keaton as Batman. Michael Cap. We have Michael Capman as Batman. I thought it was rumored that someone was supposed to be playing Thomas Wayne in it, which, if you know anything about the Flashpoint Paradox or the Flashpoint comic series,
he's a murderous tyrant.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's cool Batman.
Yeah, Batman with guns.
Yeah, Batman with guns, which is cool. Dean Morgan.
Flashpoint Paradox is one of my favorite animated DC films.
It really is. Okay.
Morgan, is that what you said?
That is what people have
Holy
been speculating, which I think would be the perfect Thomas Wayne.
That'd be amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
The comedian Negan.
Yeah. Other things he's done that where he's terrifying.
Yes.
The only concern I have about the Flash movie, which if you guys see behind me, I have a bunch of Flash stuff behind me on my wall. I love the Flash.
No, there ain't nothing there.
It just there's.
I can't see nothing.
Oh, it's probably because it's dark. I'm probably standing in the way of it. It's that it's been in production for so long, and that doesn't usually give me confidence.
They're working hard on it.
I mean, that's one way of putting it.
There's a pandemic out there.
Well, no, it's been delayed before that. Just because DC doesn't know what to do, they're doing with their universe. It was because that kind of was part of the Snyderverse, and then no, and it's yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And now you have all this other shit coming out, and it's like there's about to be maybe 3 Batmans. There's about to be Robert Pattinson Batman, Michael Keaton nipple Batman, and Batfleck all maybe at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have 3 Batmans again. Watch it be just like the 90s, where it's fucking.
Dude, I wish it was back like the 90s.
2023, Michael Keaton. 2024, Batfleck.
I genuinely love those Batman movies from the 80s and 90s.
Tim Burton get in on the action.
Please do. I love those movies. I just thought of Lady Joker. Yeah. Martha Wayne is the Joker in Flashpoint 2, which is really cool. Batman doing the pointing Spider-Man meme with all their Batmans. Yeah, we were talking about Suicide Squad. How did we get here?
We've just been on the DC train for the past 10 minutes.
True. But anyway, yeah. So Suicide Squad trailer. I mean, how is that going to tie into the rest of the DC universe? Because the first one kind of did, but then I saw
Batfleck. The first one had Batfleck.
Yeah, it did, and then I saw a weird statement by John Cena who said
so
that
working with Ben Affleck.
That's not what he said. He said the new Suicide Squad isn't a remake, but it's also not a sequel. And I was just like, then what the hell is it?
Yeah. I don't know where to stand with this movie because Amanda Waller's the same fucking person.
We have Harley Quinn is the same person. The person who played the Commando dude is the same person.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with this, John Cena. I can't really see you right now.
Nice. I read that. I read it twice. I was like, what do you mean? It has to be one of those. You can't not have.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what? You can't have neither. Yeah, so he said, I actually had to go Google the quote just to make sure I'm not being an asshole right now. Perception is everything, and I won't change your perception, but I'll offer my own, he told Observer. The Suicide Squad is neither a sequel nor a reboot.
That's it? That's where the quote ends?
Well, no, it goes on to the Suicide Squad is the Suicide Squad from the brain of one of the most amazingly twisted creative minds in James Gunn that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. James is so gifted in so many ways. The good thing about what's going on in the Suicide Squad is exactly what you're saying. People are kind of expecting to be something, but nobody's ready to see this movie. Everyone needs it in their life, trust me. But nobody's ready to see what it is. Nobody.
Why is he always talking about people being able to see shit?
John Cena, it's
Yeah,
obsessed.
and he deflected so hard. He was like,
right, that's why I didn't read the rest of the
it's
quote.
not a prequel or a sequel. I love James Gunn. You can't see me. That's exactly what you just said.
Right, it literally we didn't learn anything from that statement, except that it's not a prequel, I guess a sequel or a remake, which is like, what?
Yeah, John Cena. I don't know.
I love you, John Cena.
Right,
but
yeah, heart, John Cena, represent all
yeah.
that. You know, you're a cool guy. You tradable and stuff.
Let's move on to something that's kind of connected to the DC universe. Just because DC did that weird thing with the comics about like 5 to 6 years ago with Hanna-Barbera, where they made them all like mature rated, and actually, because this is a visual podcast, 1 second, I actually can show and tell something.
Oh my. I'll be tuning in on the multi-Twitch, which you can find in the chat above. Here it is again, for those of you that missed it.
We're pulling out one of my comics. So, for those who don't know, a couple years ago, I just twisted my headphone. 1 second. We're professional podcasters.
Yeah, we're doing it.
We're doing it. So anyway, a couple years ago, Hanna-Barbera and DC teamed up to do like R-rated, mature-rated versions of their properties. So like Wacky Races, Scooby-Doo. There was a couple other I can't really remember. But anyway, we got Scooby Apocalypse, which I'm holding up to my camera right now, which was like Zombie Apocalypse Scooby-Doo. And this is all for a segue. It's actually I have a couple of these.
All this for a segue.
All this for a segue. Anyway, Scooby Apocalypse kind of ruled. But anyway, we got a new Scooby-Doo trailer, but it's a crossover, and I love when Scooby-Doo does crossovers. I guess I could have also done the crossover with when John Cena and there was the WWE Scooby-Doo crossover. Do you ever watch that?
Nope.
Yeah, that was a thing. But it. Yes.
I didn't see it. Probably because John Cena was
yeah,
there.
Okay. But anyway, we got a new trailer today also. Scooby-Doo crossover. Scooby-Dooby-Doo is crossing over with Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Dog.
That is the next Scooby-Doo movie, and what the fuck?
I can't wait.
That's sweet. Really cool. Yeah. I didn't know.
And then Johnny Bravo is gonna kick the door in and save the day.
God, I hope so. So the trailer, it looks so good. And it's also on Sci-Fi. There was a lot of segues we could have done here. But anyway, it is straight out of nowhere. Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm so glad people are doing stuff with the Courage the Cowardly Dog property still.
Please, more.
It's so, because it honestly was so good. It does sound like a fever dream. I agree. Whatever. But a good fever dream.
What is this, a trailer?
Yeah, I posted the trailer.
You're kidding. There's a trailer?
Yeah.
Alright. How long is it?
2 minutes.
2 minutes!
But anyway, it has like the kind of like modern Scooby-Doo animation style, like not the modern, but it's like the God, Scooby-Doo, talk about a fucking franchise that's gone through so many animation styles.
Oh, I like this already. There's a Scooby-Doo in particular that I hated.
Yeah.
It's like just strictly the animation style.
I think, yeah, I know it. It kind of came in like what, the like late 2000s or
probably.
Late 2010s?
I really don't like that like super CGI looking.
Yeah, I don't either.
You know, kind of like stylized weird stuff. There was a Transformers Prime as the perfect example of a show like this, and I only say it because I can remember it, and that's that animation style that I don't like. I think there was a Scooby-Doo show that had something similar, and I just didn't like it.
I mean,
this is great. It fits in with the Courage universe so well.
It does. I love Scooby-Doo. I love the Mystery Gang. I love that franchise. I watched that so much growing up. It's probably why I love spooky things so much. It's probably why a lot of people in our generation love spooky things, is because of Scooby-Doo. And I mean, if you think about it, Scooby-Doo's been around since like the 60s.
Yeah, and now that I'm looking at this, there's a few shows that would have spiked our interest in this sort of thing at a young age, specifically these two shows.
Exactly.
Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like, I love both of these shows. I'm very excited for this. This looks amazing.
I'm looking at all the crossovers. They did a crossover with Supernatural.
What?
Yeah, and Harlem Globetrotters. That was one of my favorite, actually. Let me see other crossovers. They did one with 1969 with Superman, The Three Stooges, Batman, Addams Family. That one I remember. That one was awesome.
They did one with the Beatles.
Well, they did one with Josie and the Pussycats. I don't know if they did.
Why does that sound so familiar? Am I thinking of something else?
I think so. They did one with Full House. What? Yogi Bear, Gex the Gecko. What? For those who don't know Gex, you didn't have a Sega Saturn, obviously, or a PlayStation. Gex was whatever happened to Gex?
Was it the monkeys?
That was probably the monkeys. Johnny Bravo. They did a parody of Blair Witch called the Scooby-Doo Project.
And of course, Matthew Lillard, fellow Michiganian.
Yeah, and fantastic. They had a commercial crossover with Courage the Cowardly Dog in the 2000. I forgot South Park did like a Scooby-Doo episode, and the reason I bring it up is because it was Korn. Korn was like the mystery gang, and I really love that.
Yeah,
I really love that episode. Korn's groovy pirate ghost mystery is so funny. They crossover with Looney Tunes. Wait, characters from Scooby-Doo appear in the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. What?
That show had everything.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to watch that.
They just
I keep hearing about things that pop up in that show that just blow my mind.
Yeah. Oh my god. We almost watched the Scooby-Doo Hex Girls movie last week.
Oh?
Yeah, because I was like, 3 witches. What's the third witch movie? And that came to my mind immediately. Was it a Sega Saturn? Yeah, it was also on PlayStation. Shout out to Gex. Anyway, it looks good. Looks fun. Hell yeah, Scooby-Doo. What's new, Scooby-Doo?
Copyright infringement.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera. We go get us. All right. So cool. I'm excited. It looks like it's going direct to streaming. I'm cool with that.
Neat.
Yeah, talking about horror and spooky things. We got the Candyman poster. Are you familiar with the franchise at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
I am. I really like the franchise. I like the Candyman movies. I think there's a couple. We talked about how zombie movies have like really strong social commentary, well, like a lot of the good ones do, and Candyman is like one of those horror movies that has like really good social commentary and like raises up social issues and stuff.
Okay.
So it's cool that Jordan Peele was the one to kind of do the screenplay, so he's bringing it back. The trailer's been out for a bit. I don't know. I'm excited for it. It looks good. Candyman hasn't really had its like reboot like the other slasher films have. So it's kind of cool that Candyman's getting the reboot. There's not too much I wanted to talk about it. It's just Candyman's coming out. It's cool.
Probably a proper reboot with Jordan Peele behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know he's producing it and stuff, and I don't know the director. Let me see. Nia DaCosta. She's also supposed to be directing the Marvels, which is like the Captain Marvel sequel. I think they're just calling it the Marvels now. It looks like she was an indie filmmaker, made a bunch of short horror films and stuff. So cool, okay. Nice. Yeah, if you haven't seen Candyman and you like horror, like really good, like well-written horror, watch them. They're from the 90s. They're really good. Also, but if you don't like bees, probably don't watch it. Yeah, so the last thing I want to talk about in the movie news is something that isn't like really like explosive or like really like big that like a lot of people are talking about. But we have Steven Spielberg's production company, which is Amblin, is now working with Netflix. The reason I bring this up is because it's a good thing that he's working with Netflix. I say that because I don't know if most of you remember in the early 2010s, there was this huge schism in the film industry where a lot of people from old Hollywood and a lot of filmmakers, like prestigious filmmakers like Spielberg and Scorsese and stuff, really didn't believe that streaming movies and streamed movies deserved to go to awards ceremonies. Like, I remember when Roma came out a couple years ago, and like it wasn't shown at Cannes or something because they refused to show movies that were done on streaming services, and I always thought that was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, we're such a young art form that like you can't just say only good films are shown in theaters. Like, we now have the ability to show films everywhere, and I think since then, like, Hollywood has changed, and a lot of these filmmakers have changed their ways. I mean, look, Uncut Gems came out a couple years ago, that like won, I think, Best Picture. That was a streaming movie.
Yeah, and I like that movie a lot.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good.
Yeah, so that's pretty much why I wanted to bring that up, is I am finally glad that we are kind of past that discourse, past the, oh, streaming can't make good art films or good films.
Right.
Because I always thought that was weird and gatekeepy and is holding a lot of other filmmakers back, because sometimes you can only get a Netflix deal, but your film on Netflix is probably just as good as your film being shown in the theater, at this point at least.
Yeah, and I mean, even if it isn't, at least you're getting like the exposure that you might not get otherwise, and you're able to possibly go and do other stuff.
Exactly. So it is cool to see that Steven Spielberg is now partnering with Netflix to make movies.
Yeah.
Gaslight Girl Boss Gatekeep. Exactly. It's nice. I'm kind of glad we're past that part. Now we're just at the part where everyone yells at Martin Scorsese because he makes fun of Marvel movies, which is kind of fun. That's like the new discourse, is like Martin Scorsese be like, well, Marvel movies aren't really art house films, and then people getting mad at him for some reason. Just like, let Scorsese have his opinions, everyone.
Right.
He's made so many great films. If he says Marvel movies aren't something, just it's in his opinion. It's subjective. You don't have to go get a pitchfork and yell at him.
Right. Just let the man say his things.
Yeah.
Been making movies longer than most of us have been alive.
Exactly. But yeah, that's the only reason I brought it up, is I'm kind of glad that we're kind of allowing streaming movies to actually be nationally recognized. Just because it was kind of always silly that we didn't. Filmmaking is such a young art form. Like, the first ever projected film was 1895. That's only 125 years ago. Compared to every other art form, that's incredibly young. So when you kind of gatekeep it, being like, oh, only these films shown on this theater on IMAX are only the ones that deserve to be going to Cannes or Venice or Sundance or deserve to get recognized at the Oscars, it was like, but why? You're just holding back everything.
Right.
So yeah, hopefully, I mean, I don't even have to say hopefully we get better films. We've been getting great streaming films. Uncut Gems, Roma.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, so let's move on to television. We don't have too much to talk about there. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the Uzumaki update and trailer. How familiar are you with Junji Ito? I just messed up his name so bad.
I'm not.
Okay, so
At least not that I know of.
Yeah, let me send you some of his art. You might be familiar. It's Junji Ito. I said, okay, so I butchered his name. Anyway, he is a horror manga artist. If you've ever seen like black and white drawings of like swirls or anything like that, you would probably recognize his work. Or if you've ever seen or read the comic about all the people walking into the holes in the mountain, you would know who Junji Ito is. Anyway, he is getting a show on Adult Swim dedicated to his artwork, and he is one of the like horror masters of the modern world. So we finally got kind of an update. It seems to be coming out later than sooner. But we finally got like the artwork and the art style for the show, and it looks like it's pulled out straight out of a manga. And it looks really nice, really cool. And I'm very excited for it. It's his I'm trying to think of like the best way to describe his artwork. It's kind of like Lovecraftian in a sense. It's not like jump scare or slasher or anything like that. It's like very mind fuckery horror.
Okay.
Like his most famous one is the one I was talking about, which let me see if I can find the name of it. It's the something fault. Yeah, the Enigma of Amigara Fault, which is terrifying if you read it, and honestly it's never really left my mind, but it's just like this place where there was like this earthquake, and it revealed this like large mountain with human shaped holes in the mountain, kind of like, you know, like those game shows where you have to like contort your body to go through it, and they like draw people into them because each of these holes matches up to a person perfectly, and people just walk into them and get stuck in the mountain.
Where have I feel like I've heard this story in a different context.
It's talked about a lot. It is probably his most notable, most famous story he has done. But it literally makes me shiver thinking about it. So it's cool that we're getting a movie. I mean, not a movie, a television series. Especially from Adult Swim, because you know Adult Swim will do it right.
Yeah, they do well with what they take on.
Yeah. So for anyone who is a fan of Japanese horror or Junji Ito or just Adult Swim, look forward to that show. I know I'll be watching it. And then after the last thing to talk about on television before we talk about Loki episode 2, is something that goes into the movie we're talking about this week, and that is the Wellington Paranormal trailer. That kind of recently came out. Wellington Paranormal is a spin-off of What We Do in the Shadows. It is about the police force in Wellington, New Zealand, which is one of the funniest parts of the movie. So that show has been out for like 2 or 3 seasons in New Zealand already, but it's finally coming to America. It's coming out on CW and Hulu, and it looks so funny. It looks exactly...
It's the same people.
It is. That's a great thing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I'm so excited for it. If you liked or watched What We Do in the Shadows, I think you'll also appreciate it. Taika Waititii and Jermaine Clement are both going to be producing it too, which is the people who wrote What We Do in the Shadows. And I mean, 2 great artists. First of all, Taika Waititi, director, one of the best.
Like Cops. Cops like meets like paranormal.
It's vampires, but really funny, but with New Zealand humor. But yeah, it's premiering in the CW July 11th. And my God, am I excited.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So let's talk about Loki episode 2.
What is there to talk about from Loki season episode 2?
I have to say that episode 2 of Loki has cemented it as my favorite MCU show so far.
Yeah, it was fucking sweet, and I called Lady Loki.
Yeah, you did. You absolutely did.
But they basically set up everything from here on out. Like an enormous catastrophe just happened in our timeline.
Yeah, it did, and it was the second episode. I mean, we're only getting 6 episodes. I think we're either getting 6 or 8. I can't remember. But honestly,
locations. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Not even talking about like that stuff, which is fantastic. Like they're doing it the second episode in. I can't even imagine what's going to be the rest of the series. If we got like the thing that I thought was going to be the climax, the second episode of the series.
Yeah.
I think it's shot the best out of all the shows. I think
Mhm.
Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston, that's his name, right?
Tom Hiddleston, yeah.
Yeah.
They work really well
Their
together.
chemistry is so fucking good. It is the best
Mhm.
chemistry, I think, out of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, it's really on point, dude.
They're so
okay,
good.
I'm a little biased because I really, really, really just love Owen Wilson, but like
wow.
he's just great. And but like honestly, their chemistry is over the top. It's just so well
It
done.
is, absolutely. The world building is fantastic. The CGI is so good. The like set pieces are so well done. The lighting and the cinematography in the supermarket scene towards the end actually was really good. It was better than anything we've seen so far in any of the television shows.
It's all just so beautiful.
It is. I'll say the first episode, I was here for it. I was like, okay. But the second episode really cemented it as something that I am looking forward to every week. And it's made me more excited than WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like, I've talked about how these other shows have been like a bridge. This feels like the entire structure of this bridge that we've been talking about over the course of these last two shows. This is the fucking metal framework, the grounding into the fucking beneath the river of our bridge. Like it's setting everything up, I think, for the rest of this phase, basically.
Yeah,
and that was just this episode.
Yeah, and even with that, I know like my main complaint with the MCU shows have always been like it doesn't feel like its own thing. It feels like it's just part of the MCU, and it's just connecting everything. This feels like it could be its own thing.
Yeah.
The TVA, if you remove Loki from it and just have like a generic protagonist, or even like if people know Loki from like mythology and stuff, like this could be its own thing. It is that interesting. But then you said it also has like crazy repercussions in the MCU.
This is they threw many stones into the ocean of the MCU. They really did. Stones. One of them landed in New York, which is particularly awesome because, Doctor Strange and shit. So I'm excited for that. They're doing a great job of like tying in what we do know with what we don't know, making these like cool connections. It's going to be pretty excellent, I think.
Yeah.
I will say there are like two things I want to complain about.
Yeah.
One of them is more of a concern than a complaint, and I'd actually kind of like your input on it. The first one, I don't know, you might agree or disagree. Every episode of every Marvel show gets this like long, drawn out Marvel thing, and like that's cool and stuff, but this one was long as fuck.
Like, I skip them.
Particularly long.
I skip them. With
just
most
that pan up of the Marvel Studios thing, like I always just keep it going, and this one just felt like it stayed on screen for 10 seconds longer than every other one I've ever seen.
I mean, honestly, this is for any TV show I watch, even like Westworld and stuff. Like I just skip the beginnings. Like I'll see it once, I'll be like, "Wow, that's really neat," and then I just don't want to see it ever again.
Yeah, I'm just normally like eating dinner while I watch this stuff. So I don't really go through the process of like, licking the rib juice off my friggin' fingers to microwave to fast forward through the beginning.
Right.
The second thing I wanted to, not so much of a complaint, just like again a concern. So Marvel kind of did this thing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier where they like revealed the antagonist very early on.
Yeah.
And they did it again in this. Do you think that could be like a problem? Just like it's kind of like I feel like it is almost like showing the monster in a horror movie too early or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just bringing it up as a question or a concern.
I mean,
because I don't mind.
Right. So I think, as always, I think the monster analogy here is great because like in horror movies, you never want to show your monster too much or too early. especially your villain. I mean, we kind of got the opposite of that in WandaVision, where we like didn't really get the villain till the end, and that didn't really do too well for me, at least. I think it's gonna be a little bit different with this show, just because it's Loki. I don't even know if our Loki is gonna do the right thing.
Right. The reason I don't know if it's the reason I'm asking, but now that you're saying that, it's like, I don't know why I'm saying it that way, because like the antagonist, we've always been watching the antagonist. In theory, like Loki's the bad guy. He just happens to be the protagonist of this story, but he's still an antagonist.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess they're introducing another antagonist.
Right, exactly. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where this show is going. I think it's hard. This show is the hardest to read out of all three of them to like actually know where it's going. So I don't know. It could end up being stale if we bring in our like the villain so early and it's just like chasing Lady Loki the entire time. But I don't know where they're going with it. But I think it is a like actual like concern that we should watch and should like not dismiss.
Yeah. I still feel glued to the show and everything. I just noticed that it happened twice in a row, where like in the second episode they were like, "Here's your bad guy," pretty much.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how it felt. You know, who am I to say? Maybe Lady Loki's doing all these things for the good, and the TVA is actually a bag of assholes.
I mean, I think TVA is going to come out as the bad guy in the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy in the middle is Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, probably.
He kind of looks like him. The timekeeper guy.
Yeah. So yeah,
we'll see.
I don't know. Episode 3 coming out tonight.
See if I can nail another prediction. Kang the Conqueror in Loki.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right there. I know like a lot of speculation has been going around with that.
No, I don't read the internet. This is the first exclusive guest on the internet.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been my 30th time hearing that since the episode 2.
It's your first time.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have much to say about it. Episode 3 tonight. I just still don't like their Wednesday release schedule. But whatever.
It's so weird.
But
it's
whatever.
A strange day to release such a high-profile show.
They also said going forward they're all going to be Wednesday releases.
That's even more interesting, I guess.
I just don't know why.
It's a school night.
I just don't know why.
It's on Disney.
Whatever.
I mean, it's summertime, so like I don't give a shit. But like I'm just saying, like, you know, Disney's market is Disney, so
yeah, I don't know.
School night.
I like Thursday, Friday night releases.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah. But... Yeah. All right. Well,
I liked the episode.
Yes. We both thumbs up from this podcast on Loki episode 2. It's good. Recommend. All right. So let's move on to the second part of our podcast in which we talk about the movie of the week. This week we are talking about What We Do in the Shadows, the 2014 comedy/horror/vampire/mockumentary, written and directed by Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititii. If you don't know either of those directors, Jermaine Clement is one half of Flight of the Conchords, and Taika Waititi, how do you not know who Taika Waititi is? No, I'm kidding. Fantastic director. Hunt for the Wilder People, Jojo Rabbit, Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
I want to watch Jojo Rabbit so bad.
I know, I do too. He directed a lot of the In-Betweeners, which is a really funny British show. But anyway, and he also directed a lot of Flight of the Conchords shows too, if you didn't know. But anyway, they came together. What We Do in the Shadows was actually a short. I think it was just a bunch of interviews with their quote-unquote vampires before they made this movie. But in 2014, they made What We Do in the Shadows. It is a film that follows Viego, Deacon, and Vladislav, who are vampires living in modern-day New Zealand. It's framed as it is a New Zealand documentary, as a documentary film crew is following them around, kind of in the same sense of The Office and like 2010s and 2000s sitcoms where you have interviews with your characters. There's the documentary. It's a mockumentary. And the big event is what is it called? It's like the dance.
Oh, the masquerade.
Yeah, the masquerade.
I can't remember if there's a real name.
Yeah, it has a pretty fun name.
The spooky masquerade.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, that doesn't really matter because this is just following the characters around as they explore New Zealand and tell us all about how they live in the modern day. And we also get a new vampire. We meet the werewolves. And it's just so fucking funny.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's so funny.
It was super funny and like just I think about like the things that they say and it just cracks me up. They're just ridiculous.
I mean, there's so many famous quotes and famous like jokes that like come from this movie that I'm gonna read a couple of them right now.
There's fucking sandwich one is too
good.
Like, if you're ordering a sandwich, wouldn't you want to know someone hadn't fucked it?
Yeah, so it's actually so one of the vampires say, "I think we drink virgin blood because it sounds cool," and then another one responds, "I think of it like this: if you're going to eat a sandwich, you would just enjoy it more if you knew no one had fucked it," which is just so fucking funny. My favorite one is towards the end, where one of them is on the computer and he's saying, "Leave me alone to do my dark bidding," and the whole bit is, "What are you bidding on?" And it's like a couch, and he's on eBay. It's so fucking funny. We also have some other great characters along with the vampires, along with Deacon, Vladislav, and Viago. We have Jackie the Familiar.
Hilarious. Oh my gosh. Stu is really funny too, though.
Stu, you have Nick. You have Peter, who dies.
So sad.
It really is.
8,000 years old.
Peter.
Fucking Nick.
Yeah. Fucking Nick. Nick is so funny to me. Just the fucking.
He's just the bro.
He's the dude bro vampire and no one else likes him.
Dude, bro, I don't want to be a vampire. I fucking like chips. Chips are my favorite food.
Throws up everything. Oh my god. I'm trying to think.
That movie. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, like I had a little bit of an idea.
Yeah.
Based on like the outro of the last podcast, in which I'm pretty sure you said it was a mockumentary about vampires. Directed by Taika Waitiiti. And I was like, okay, that sounds sweet. So, but like, that's not a whole lot of framework.
No.
And all of that movie was just totally worthwhile. Super funny. It is a comedy, but there were just parts of it when I was like, there was a part when I was actually scared a little bit. I jumped a little bit.
Oh, really? What part?
I don't remember. It was like earlier on, something like ran across the screen or something.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I think
it might have been when they were pursuing Nick.
Yeah.
There was just like a lot of like jumpiness going on. They were moving really fast, and I don't remember, but I know I jumped at one point. I was like, holy shit. It kind of got me. And then when they were pursuing Nick, I remember thinking like, holy fuck, this would be terrifying. And it was even kind of heartfelt, like with Stu and stuff.
It really is. So I think it does along with it being a comedy, it does a really good job at capturing like what an independent documentary feels like, and it actually has heart to it, which I think you have to put like a lot of that on Jermaine Clement, because Flight of the Conchords. Like, first of all, I don't know how many of the people in like the younger generations know about Flight of the Conchords at this point, but go check them out. They were a comedy duo who had a lot of really funny songs, but also did a lot of skits. But that also, like, Flight of the Conchords also felt really like down to earth at the same time with all their skits. And then I mean, Taika Waititi is just a comedy mastermind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a genius.
He knows how to make films funny. He does, but he also knows how to make films also have heart to them. Like Thor Ragnarok. It's probably my favorite MCU film. It's hilarious, but it also has a lot of heart to it.
True.
It deals with the Ragnarok, deals with the destruction of Asgard, and it's like really heavy, but it's also really funny. And I think you're right. Like, this movie also is very heartfelt. It has a lot of you get a lot of human moments in vampires.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. There's like this great cosmic irony going on with them, Like at one point, um, you can see that main character Viego,
Yeah.
the first guy you see, you
Yeah,
can see
Taika
that
Waititi.
he's like genuinely feeling a little bit bad the first
Yeah.
time you see him murder a person. She's like telling him
Yeah.
how she's gonna travel and she's gonna go to university and all this shit. And he like looks at the camera and he's like, like
Exactly.
he's like genuinely feels a little bit bad, but knows what he's got to do, and then he completely fucks it up.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Then the werewolves are equally, I think, as funny. The whole
Yeah.
werewolves not swearwolves.
Yeah.
Which we were supposed to get, I think, I don't know if this is still supposed to happen, but there was talks of okay, we've talked about this on the podcast. God, what is it called? It's like werewolves, werewolves or something. Comedy. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, they were a great part of the show for sure.
Yeah, they're so good. The whole like zombies and stuff. I like all of it's so good. Okay, What We Do in the Shadows, Werewolf spinoff. Taika Waititi updates. Oh, it's called We Are Wolves. Like WE apostrophe RE wolves.
Okay.
So I don't know. It sounds like it might be happening. It might not be. But I mean, with the TV show doing as well as it is, it might just become a TV show. But it's hard to talk about comedies because you just have to watch them. Me saying the jokes on here is not going to be as good as actually sitting down and watching the film. It's only an hour and a half. I recommend it so much.
It's worth your time.
It is my favorite comedy of all time. It is so fucking funny. The TV show is, I think, funnier too, and that's about to get its third season. It's so good. Highly recommended. I think this is the film too that like kind of got Taika Waititi known. Like he did like a bunch of TV and stuff before that, and did Flight of the Conchords. But he did What We Do in the Shadows in 2014, and then he did Hunt for the Wilder People in 2016. Which Hunt for the Wilder People is a movie with a lot of heart too that he directed. That is very New Zealand-ish. That is really good. It has the kid from Deadpool in it. Deadpool 2 in it.
Yeah.
Because and then so we got What We Do in the Shadows. Then he did Hunt for the Wilder People. Then he did Thor Ragnarok.
Nice.
And then we got the What We Do in the Shadows TV series. And then after that, we got Jojo Rabbit. He directed The Mandalorian a couple of those episodes. He's doing Thor: Love and Thunder. There's gonna be Our Flag Means Death, which is that pirate comedy coming out.
Okay.
There's an untitled Taika Waititi Star Wars film in 2025. So like this is the film that made him recognized, and it deservingly so.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
And I think
can't say enough good things about this movie, honestly. Sorry, you think?
Well, I was just gonna say, I think like he's kept his heart in all his movies too. Like you can see What We Do in the Shadows like through all his other work. I mean, there's even a Easter egg in Thor Ragnarok, dealing with What We Do in the Shadows. It's when they're under the Colosseum and there's a stick with 3 stakes and they talk about killing vampires. So like it's so good. It's just so great to see like a director being recognized and then being able to make all these things, and then that director is still like being so consistent and still making the things that he was making with What We Do in the Shadows and the stuff he did with Flight of the Conchords, and just being able to keep continuing it. I think Taika Waititi is going to end up being one of the greatest directors of this time period because of that.
Deservedly so. He's really just knocking them out there.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that he's done that has been bad.
This is a true statement.
Yeah.
I haven't seen everything he's done, but I have no reason to believe that any of it would be bad.
Right, exactly. I haven't seen all of it. I haven't seen let's see. I've seen
I don't think I've seen every episode of Flight of the Conchords, or I definitely haven't seen any of What We Do in the Shadows of the show.
Yeah, he's only directed a couple of those episodes, but I mean, What We Do in the Shadows, great. Hunt for the Wilder People, also fantastic. Boy is good. Eagle vs. Shark is good. It's crazy. What We Do in the Shadows, like their first short film, like was shot in 2005. So
Wow.
9 years later.
That's kind of like a meteoric rise.
Yeah, well, it was a short film. So it's a short film with Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi. That wasn't even like Flight of the Conchords time. Flight of the Conchords doesn't come till 2007.
Yeah, so from in just 16 years, this guy went from doing short films to making the direct follow up to arguably the most entertaining MCU movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Making a comedy about Nazis that went over really well. There's not too many directors that can do that.
This is true.
There's not too many directors who can do it. Is
that what Jojo Rabbit's about?
It's about the Nazis, yeah.
Really?
The synopsis is a young boy in Hitler's army finds out his mother is hiding a Jewish girl in their home. The main character's imaginary friend is Hitler.
Okay. I did not know this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
I want to watch that more now. It's on my list.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is, like, a lot of directors couldn't do that with humor or tact like Taika Waititi can. So you're right. 16 years, and now I still think he's gonna be one of the him and Edgar Wright are good. I mean, Edgar Wright's been around longer than that, but are gonna end up being like two of the greatest directors of like this time period.
Yeah, that's wild. Good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
All right, so now we've talked a lot of good things about this movie. Let's ruin it.
Yeah, I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah. Let's see. So for anyone new to this podcast, this is the part where we ruin the movie with the help of you. Well, actually, you guys ruin the movie, then we ruin it even more. You guys can vote on the genre, and if we're doing a prequel, sequel, or remake, in our Discord. You can join our Discord in either Shayne's or my channel on Twitch.
Down below.
We are remaking this film.
Okay.
Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk.
Again?
I fucking forgot to take Cyberpunk off. We're doing Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk
2
remake.
minutes.
2 minutes. 2 Cyberpunks in a row. A remake of this, but is it like a Suicide Squad remake where John Cena will say it's not a
sequel?
Or is it a sequel or a remake? All right, so we're remaking this film in a cyberpunk setting. I think we keep Taika Waititi as the director.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna remake it in a cyberpunk setting, why not just focus on a different group?
Yeah, well, okay, so vampires, What We Do in the Shadows is originally vampires.
Mm-hmm.
What would be a fun documentary? What paranormal group would be really funny to make?
So the zombies were cracking me up in the movie.
Zombies are really good.
But I feel like the witches didn't get enough love.
You're not wrong.
And just based on our last couple episodes, maybe I got my mind on the witches.
So yeah, okay. So before we get into this, I just remembered a joke that's probably one of my favorites because it pops up in the TV show too. It's when Taika Waititi's character comes out before the masquerade and he's dressed up as Blade, and they're like bad taste, and he's like, but why? Vampires love Wesley Snipes. In the What We Do in the Shadows TV show, Wesley Snipes appears as a honorary vampire and gets to hang out with vampires in it as Wesley Snipes because vampires love Wesley Snipes. Just remember that joke. It's so fucking funny.
So funny.
But yeah, I think witches, werewolves, zombies. I love the zombies too, and they always throw me off when the zombies appear.
They're just talking. They're just shooting the shit.
They're like, when they're like, oh, we hate when people mock us for doing the thing, and he ends up doing it in the end.
Less groaning.
Yeah. Yeah, I think witches. We talked about cyber witches last week too.
Oh man, maybe we do switch it up then.
Okay, let's think of what other paranormal. It can be ghosts,
werewolves,
zombies, cryptids. What is a New Zealand cryptid? Because that has to be in New Zealand still.
Yeah.
Are Tasmanian devils real? Wait,
yeah,
those
those exist.
okay.
They don't spin around at light speed though.
Yeah, well, they should. Whoever made
Yeah.
that design,
Major
God.
design flaw in
yeah,
the
major.
Tasmanian
Not in
devil.
the Looney Tunes design flaw. I'm
Dude.
talking about real life design flaw.
They need to hit up WB. Get their shit together.
I can't pronounce any of these scripted, so we're not gonna do it. What? Okay, what if I type in things like zombies? Like, what are even those called? Paranormal creatures?
Supernatural creatures.
Oh, supernatural, actually.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about like episodes of Supernatural, like a Jinn.
That's a good.
Or
like, yeah. Keep going.
I don't know. That was like the first one that came to mind.
So we have angels, centaurs, demons, devil, dragons, fairies, ghosts, lizard people. Lizard people might be funny. Aliens. Oh, what if it was aliens? Cyberpunk aliens. Because cyberpunk's more sci-fi anyway.
Yeah. Are they just living in the city?
Yeah,
just like the vampires, just in plain sight.
Exactly, but I know, and that's like a trope done a lot, but I think it would be done really well if it was done in that kind of like dry humor, New Zealand style of like humor, where it's like 3 aliens, in skin suits and stuff, and they could be a dub. Like the skin suits could keep like coming off and things, and I
mean, the skin suits are easy to come by. It's cyberpunk, you know.
Exactly. Instead of having that scene about you could do the sandwich scene, but have virgin skin suits instead of eating them. Yeah, I think aliens. Why isn't aliens? Yes. Okay, so Alien Cyberpunk, directed by Taika Waitiiti. Do we have the same cast?
Yeah. Right? Except they'd be aliens.
Right.
So I kind of like the idea. It makes me think of like the Cornetto trilogy, right? It's like the same cast. There's just all different people doing the same. Or like
yes.
I kind of love it. And then maybe, you know what? Maybe there's another remake even further down the line with these 3 again, as you know, to finish the trilogy.
Yeah.
But until then, you know, I kind of like the idea of keeping the same cast minus Stu, of course. I
think the antagonists are the Men in Black, but a really incompetent version of it, kind of like the cops in What We Do in the Shadows, except like the Men in Black are like the force that keeps trying to catch the aliens.
Yeah, can they also just be like hypnotized?
Exactly. Yes,
They're
maybe they.
Like... Dude, that's my favorite part, I think. When they come in and he's like, nothing you see will be out of the ordinary. And they're just doing all this ridiculous shit.
Oh my god, and yes, okay, one of my favorite parts of that scene too is like the police officers get really upset about the lack of fire alarms, and they keep pointing it out, and then I think it's not Viego, it's one of the other vampires are like, alright, we can get him to leave, and Viego's like, wait, what other safety tips do they have? Let's keep him here. And then he follows them around.
Oh man, that was such a great part of that movie.
It really is.
Oh man, but yeah, I really think we're onto something. Cyberpunk remake, same cast, aliens, skin suits.
What if the Men in Black is Nick Frost and Simon Pegg?
They're just on the case. The 2 people that have been assigned to Cyberpunk Wellington.
It's 2 British guys.
These 2 guys, they've been assigned to a new department that the police made to just basically get them to fuck off. But then they saw something weird.
Oh, this is what happened. This is how this goes down. It's a 2 movie event now. First half. Oh god, what is it called? What We Do in the Shadows. What would be What We Do in the Stars?
Well, so they'd be night shift cops or something, or day shift cops?
Well, my thought would be the first movie documentary about the aliens by Taika Waititi. Second movie mockumentary directed by Edgar Wright about the Men in Black.
Hell yeah, and that'd be amazing. So the one I think you're onto something, like What We Do in the Stars, or in the atmosphere, or in this apartment.
Yeah, yes.
What we do in this apartment.
When we look at the yes, what we do in this apartment. I want one of the aliens to be a stoner. Just
super chill.
Maybe they're always just watching like those old sci-fi shows too, and just commenting on like how like it's nothing like that, or they actually maybe they got things right, you know, like those old sci-fi with like the UFOs on the string. Maybe like, oh wow, that's actually quite accurate.
They watch the moon landing and they're like, holy shit, Kubrick actually went to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. No, they're conspiracy theorists. They don't believe that the moon landing was real.
Oh man, is the stoner guy like just like really chill, or is he really paranoid all the time that like they're gonna get found out as aliens?
I think paranoid. I think maybe he's the Taika Waititi. That's the Taika Waititi's character.
He's all over the place. Doesn't know how to be a fucking alien.
The other two, it just, oh god, one of the aliens has to be, and the thing is, there can be 3 different types of aliens. We could have like one be a gray, one could be a reptilian, and then the third one could be like, I can't really think of a third alien type right now, a Nord.
A green, a gray.
Yeah, green, a gray, a reptilian. And one could be like the Impaler. Oh god, it's the Impaler. What's his full name?
He's the poker.
Yeah, the poker, yes. Impaler is from the TV show. One could be like the reptilian who has conquered galaxies, but now he's stuck here. The stoner one could be like the gray who was kind of like the dandy that Taika Waititi plays. Maybe. Then the third one could be like a Pinky and the Brain style character.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and
I love the idea of Taika Waititi's character like still having existed on this planet for a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I was rich for a while, but something happened. Some bad investments. You know, when the stock market was invented.
Yes. And then the Nick character could be just a brain in a robot body.
Oh man.
Or an alien human hybrid that they accidentally make. Alright, this movie writes itself. Done. I don't think there's anything else to add.
Easy. And then the other one, all you have to say is Edgar Wright directs mockumentary about cops. Or about Men in Black. Starring Nick Frost and Simon Pegg.
The only two people who ever star in Edgar Wright's films, which is good.
This wasn't our assignment, so we're not going to do this.
We'll pass that off on someone else.
We want you to write it in 5,000 words or less. Hit us up on Discord.
Send it to us so we can pitch it.
Yes.
All right. Well, next week we don't have a show, so Shane, what film are we watching for next week?
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Holy shit. That's a big one. That's our first actual quote-unquote masterpiece film.
Yeah. I don't know why I picked it. Mainly because I hadn't thought of a cool movie, and you did this one, and it was like The Coven, The Three Witches. So I felt like I was at like a dry start.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But then we had talked a lot tonight about how Taika Waititi is like a super great at what he does in this time frame. So I kind of thought, you know, Kubrick might be a good for that time frame. And
this is going to be our first.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you're in for a ride. This is going to be for like the first. I'm trying to word this. This is like the first classic movie we are watching. Like every other movie has been great, but this is like a Kubrick film. This is
hopefully
this is the best of the best.
And everything, so we don't have another classic movie.
Oh, I guess 8.5 was a message. Yeah. Oh, good thing we have 2 weeks for this because that movie is heavy.
I might, normally I save the movie for like the few days prior to the podcast. I'm probably gonna dig into this one kind of early.
I'll probably watch it twice, honestly, just because I'm watching it a bit. It is
It's like 2.5, 3 hours, something like that.
It is definitely on the longer side.
I thought you would just know off the
No,
top of your head.
I don't just know run times off the top of my head. It's 2 hours and 44 minutes.
Okay, so not terrible.
Oh, that's good. When I recommend we watch Seven Samurai, it won't be the longest movie by that long.
2 hours.
Because Seven Samurai is 3 hours and 27 minutes.
Whoa!
We're not watching that. We're watching
How about
2001
we just watch
Space
The
Odyssey.
Last Samurai, starring Tom Cruise?
No, fuck that. All right, well, that was Ruining Movies, everyone. That was What We Do in the Shadows. I highly recommend the movie. If you,
Me too.
I just watch it and watch the television show. The television show's so good.
I'm gonna crack into it this week.
Yeah, honestly, I can't say enough good things about the television show. I know a couple of our friends also watch the television show, and I don't know if they've seen the movie, but the television show's so fucking good.
Swabby Boy, right? He's seen the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Season 3 in September. Watch it.
Nice.
All right, let's do some plugs and then play a game that Shane and I have both broken keyboards and mice on. We're gonna be playing
items.
We're gonna play League of Legends tonight. We're taking a break from Valorant, so this is community night. Anyone out there? Anyone whoever watches the podcast in the future, after each podcast on Tuesdays, after 6 p.m. Eastern, after the podcast, we do community night where we play games with the community. Usually we've been playing Valorant, but now we're gonna play some League of Legends tonight.
Yeah, I just got this new keyboard. Let's see if I can smash it.
Let's break it. All right, let's do some plugs and then get out of here.
You can catch me live on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at twitch.tv/BringTheShayne. I said I wouldn't do it, but I'm basically doing it. We're pretty much a fucking Minecraft channel at this point. I mean, like, I have a survival thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have this and a dummies play. We do shit. It's fun. Come hang out.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my plug.
Absolutely awesome. So kind of a plug for both of us. At the start of this podcast is the start of all my plugs. This podcast will probably come out Wednesday, Thursday of this week. If you are watching it this week on June 26th, Shane and I will be doing a special dummies play of the new Sea of Thieves Pirates of the Caribbean crossover. So come check that out. But yeah, so my plugs, you can find me at twitch.tv/farmgoat. I am currently this podcast channel, and dummies play. So, my stream schedule's kind of messed up for the next month or two while I have to deal with other things. But you can go check out my YouTube channels. FarmGoat Plays is actually 25 away from 100 subscribers, so go subscribe to that. I can't wait to hit the 100 mark. We're really picking up Steam these last couple of weeks and picking up some people watching. So,
oh yeah.
And then also go check out our Ruining Movies YouTube page. It's also called Ruining Movies. We are almost at
a million.
We're about to pass PewDiePie, but no, really, we're almost at 25, and I would love to get us to 50. And then go check out our TikTok. Our TikTok is also popping off lately. I think we're
Smash that like button, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, dinger danger, dinger.
Give us a 5 on Spotify.
Hit us up in the Discord.
Oh, we just actually hit 26 on TikTok. Anyway, thank you guys. That's it. Can't think of any more plugs. We have another podcast, but it's on hiatus, so I'm not gonna plug it. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. See you guys in the beginning of July as we watch 2001: A Space Odyssey. Everyone get ready to have their minds blown.
Peace and love, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, be excellent to each other. Bye.
We're fantastic outro. You can't do better than that.
We really can't.
There is no better than that.
Exactly. The best.